All right, today we're cracking a code, but it's not about algorithms. It's about people. We're going to talk about communication, specifically in the world of tech and deep learning, because honestly, it's the one skill that can make or break your most brilliant ideas.
So let's just get right into it. You've poured countless hours into building something incredible, right? It's elegant, it's powerful, it works. But here's the million-dollar question. Can you actually make someone else, your boss, an investor, even a colleague from another team, can you make them truly get why it all matters?
This analogy just nails it, doesn't it? Your work could literally be a world-changing engine, but if it's stuck in the garage, locked behind a door of super technical jargon and confusing explanations, well, it's going nowhere. See, communication isn't just some soft skill. It's the key. It's what unlocks that garage door and lets your work have the impact it was always meant to have.
Okay, so how do we forge that key? Well, we've got to start with the fundamentals. Let's think of it as building a universal toolkit. The communication skills that work pretty much anywhere, before we dive into the really specific challenges of deep learning.
At its core, communication is really not just about talking. It's a two-way street. It's about how you put information out there, your ideas, your updates, but it's just as much about how you take information in from other people. And that whole exchange, it's really powered by three main skills. We're going to break down active listening, the superpower of being concise, and of course, how to project that real, genuine confidence, not arrogance.
And notice where we're starting. It's kind of counterintuitive, right? Not with speaking, but with listening. See, active listening isn't just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about being fully locked in on what's being said. And hey, here's a pro tip. Try repeating their main points back to them, but in your own words. It's a game changer. It shows you're engaged and makes sure you're both on the same page. This is literally the foundation of any good conversation.
Okay, next up, being concise. In a world with a million distractions, this is a genuine superpower. It just means getting to the point and getting there fast. You got to cut the filler words, drop the jargon whenever you can. Look, the data on this is super clear. If you ramble on, you lose people. It's really that simple.
And finally, confidence. Now, let's be super clear about this. This is not about being arrogant or cocky. It's about showing that you believe in what you're saying. And you'd be surprised, simple things like making eye contact, having a relaxed posture, speaking clearly, they can completely change how people hear your message.
So there you have it. That's our universal toolkit. But now let's take these tools and apply them to a field where the stakes are just astronomical. We're talking about deep learning. Why are these skills not just kind of nice to have, but absolutely vital for anyone in this space?
Well, it really just boils down to what the field is. Deep learning is this crazy whirlwind of complexity, technical jargon, and stuff that's changing every single day. So if you want to collaborate with your team, if you want to get funding for your work, or just get the credit you deserve for a breakthrough, you have to be an amazing communicator. It is absolutely non-negotiable.
Just look at this comparison to see what I mean. Explaining a project update to your teammates, okay, that's one thing. But trying to explain why your multi-million-dollar model just failed to a CEO who has zero technical background, whoa, that is a whole different ballgame. That takes a completely different level of skill and clarity. The pressure is just immense.
So with stakes that high, what are the specific skills you actually need to thrive? Let's break down the four most important types of communication for anyone who's working in deep learning today.
All right, the research really points to these four big ones. First up, clear and concise writing. You absolutely need this for technical papers. Then there's effective speaking, which is a must-have for conferences and workshops. Third, look, active listening is back. It's crucial for actually understanding what your colleagues are working on. And finally, and this one might surprise you, empathy. Because in a field with this much uncertainty, you have to be able to connect with and support the people on your team.
So what's the real payoff for all this work? I think this quote from the research just sums it up perfectly. When you get good at this, people don't just understand what you did, they appreciate its significance. And that's the whole point, right? Your work finally gets the recognition it truly deserves.
Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now for the most important part, the how. Let's wrap all this up with a super practical action plan, stuff you can literally start doing today.
Look, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. Communication is a skill. It's something you can build, something you can get better at. So start practicing. Seriously, explain your work to anyone who listens. The more you do it, the better you'll get. And then you have to ask for feedback, even when it's tough to hear. Another great tip,
Watch presentations from the top people in your field, but don't just listen to what they say, analyze how they say it. And finally, just get in the game. Jump into some online forums and discussions. It's a great low-stakes way to practice and get sharper.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought to take with you. Think about what you're working on right now. Your current project, that latest finding, that one really brilliant idea you have. After all of this, what's the one thing you're going to commit to communicating just a little bit better, starting tomorrow?